really been starting to take off and come into form, especially now during the VCT. So those are going to be two big names, that Phoenix, that Sova for Envy, to really get things started. Obviously, we are still on that reverted patch, guys. So this Reyna is going to have a couple extra devours or dismisses. And we're probably, just as we see right here, Dust, going to see a lot of frenzies and a lot of stingers.
Yeah, Caboose is back to the duelist after having a bit of a period where he was picking up the Omen, but Mummy now going to be back on it. And so everyone's on the agent you would expect when you look over at the Envy side. You look over at the Sentinel side, again, you're not seeing anything too crazy. I feel like Sick has been playing some Phoenix on this map quite a bit lately, and everyone else is pretty much where you would expect as well, as we are going to go ahead and see Envy on the attack. And they ain't wasting any time here, Tater. They're looking to barrel into this A site with a drone leading the way. But that's a nice little piece of fire there to kind of stall this attack out and build a little bit of time for some rotations.
Yep, and Sick getting aggressive. Paranoias go through. They're going to be traded back. No, it was a Leer to find that stun or that blind, and Blue and Red go back and forth, but Envy find themselves on the back foot now, down to their last. It's all up to Mummy, who, as you noted, now playing that controller in the Omen, also has the spike. So trying to make a play here. Low HP on one. If he could find that kill, makes it then just a 1v1 on that A site, as we see that rotation coming all the way through already from Damper. So nice little split. We'll see what Mummy can get done.
Indeed, we shall. As he has brought the spike up, but I think he has been spotted indeed. So now the element of surprise has certainly withered away. Gonna have to just try to duel his way out of this situation now as he comes up through a heaven. He does find the 1v1 on Zoms, but Zoms' aim is true. And so Sentinels will come up with a good defense here, only losing a couple of players on the round. They shut down that swift attack from Envy. And Envy, they're going to be buying up those stingers. They're going to be looking to fight right away. No conservatism on their part when it comes to economy. They're investing on this, and they're looking to make something of it, as we are seeing a lot of them gathering up here outside of that B lobby area here with a few seconds left before the force fields drop. They do, of course, have a little bit of presence on the A main side with the Cam and the Cypher, but they're certainly looking to take either some mid-control through Link or something along those lines.
Ooh, and the force, the stinger. I mean, taking a bite out of that Bulldog up towards Cat Food. Going to kick things off nice and early for us. That Dark going to get some information. Clear out market. Doesn't necessarily mean mid is a safe place, but still leaning that way is Envy. And being a player up, again, this is the reverted patch. So these stingers are so very potent.
Yes, they indeed are, as we are seeing that Sentinels are having to defend against an Envy team who do have some deeper mid-control right now. They are certainly threatening that market position. They already have a pick to their name on that quick exchange that was through B-Link to Catwalk. And so, obviously, Sentinels are going to be a bit more stretched thin. They might even have to take some risk as far as just, you know, kind of over-rotating or maybe even eventually thinking to make a push somewhere. So we'll have to just kind of see it. They're trying to stall out A lobby with the smokes of Zoms, while it's still just kind of trying to maintain position. They're not really pivoting too much. They're trying to use this Dapper's Cam as well as those smokes should just kind of stall. But we can see that Envy are now gathering, looking to go ahead and put that cage down and split on this B site.
And just like that, the Leers go out. The site going to be taken. One still on. It is Sinatra holding it down with the Spectre in hand, but the Stingers come out on top once more. And Envy looking to grab themselves a force round after losing the pistol, not going down without a fight in this one. Still retake opportunity, but with these Stingers the way that they are, and you have this attacking side picking them up too. Now FNS finds a kill for himself. Cypher v Cypher, and this feels like a wash here. I'm not too sure what Sentinels can get done off the back end of this, and it looks like maybe play for exit.
Yeah, getting that long-range Stinger kill from B-Link to Catwalk just really opened up the floodgates for Envy to just get that deep mid-control early, and then they could just kind of sit on it and squat and really kind of force Sentinels to scramble and do guesswork. You can see that they were trying to get intel where they could, trying to at least, you know, maybe discourage an A attack by kind of refreshing those smokes on the A main area. But once Envy decided to pounce, I mean, they were able to, you know, get that smoke down on back halls, really isolate Sinatra on the speedway and just come in. And that's just so unfortunate. Shazam trying to shut down the drone, getting caught by food. Sinatra gets cleared out, trying to play around that one-way cage on the doorway, and then that's pretty much all she wrote at that point. There was no real way back in. So the force buy from Envy is fruitful. They will go ahead and square things up right away. And we're gonna keep seeing them go toe-to-toe, man. No one's conceding just yet. They're gonna keep on replenishing the buys. Now it's the Stingers from Sentinels.
It looks like a quick take over towards B. Clear out. Almost allow. Yes, it is. Okay, Caboose finds a kill onto Dapper. I thought maybe Food would get punished for trying to pick up the alt orb, but it's just a bit of damage that will be healed up by the hot hands, and they've since conceded that B main site. Sinatra looking to get aggro, and I believe he's got a stinger in his hand. So, I mean, it really feels like there isn't a better weapon to have in situations like that.
I mean, here's the deal, bro. Both these teams are super explosive in their style, so you're going to see a lot of early round fireworks, and if you blink, you're going to miss a lot of critical situations, it feels, as we're seeing exchanges left, right, and center all across the map, but we are seeing Envy now finally laying some claim to this B site. They already do have their Phoenix locking down position while the Spike tries to swing through B lobby, but there is a chance that it could get cut off. Food's trying to play up close here and deny them a way to stop this Spike from coming in, as it will make its way onto the site now and plant, and Food up close, able to get one, but it's still even at 2-on-2.
One enemy remaining.
Yep, the kill traded right back, but there's Mummy with the Bulldog, a bit more firepower than that Stinger, and it's all up to Sick, who's been very clutch for the Sentinel roster in the past. Stinger in hand is going to play the kill on towards Sidewalk, able to pick that one up onto Finesse, looking for another, but it's Mummy again with the Bulldog, taking a bite out of the Sentinels roster.
Sick had that crosshair placement dead to rights, man. He just couldn't get the round off after landing from a jump. He did well to isolate himself some 1v1s with the wall, but unfortunately doesn't come up with it. You know, Sick can be good for those types of things sometimes, but Envy able to clamp down. That's now 2 in a row. And we're still seeing Sentinels try to go at him, man. We see a couple of more Stingers in play. We do see the Bucky being picked up by Dapper, Frenzy for Sinatra. So while they're not hamstringing themselves economically too much to invest into this, they can still full buy next round for sure. They are putting some weapons out there, and they're going to go ahead and pop the ult on Shazam as well to get them that additional firepower with the blades, but he's caught immediately by Caboose, and that's going to prompt the B-Storm.
A huge takedown there, and the shock dart didn't get a whole lot of value as they were backing away. Caboose in the dismiss was able to dodge out on the damage. Food only taking a little bit, should be able to heal that up. Sinatra trying to flank around the site, but again, Frenzy in hand, and that's not the firepower you want. Sick is here though, and he's making them pay for what they've done to his teammates. Unfortunately, Mummy just continuing the multi-kill ways. Now it's all up to the Zombs Nation. The Stinger can get it done in a 1v4. It is a very tall task as Caboose just goes running through the running gun with the SMG too strong.
Yeah, I mean, in Envy's current form, they're one of the few teams out there that can actually just go man for man with Sentinels and have pretty equal firepower. Don't get me wrong, like, the consistency and the high level that Sick has on average is probably the best we've seen in North America. We know how much of an X-Factor Sinatra can be. We know how good of a jet opera Shazam can be. But some of these guys over on Envy, especially recently, Food and Caboose have been lighting it up. Crash has been lighting it up consistently as well. You got Mummy, who's always been a pretty dang good duelist. So, I mean, like I said, both these teams are very aggressive in how they like to play. Envy in particular doesn't like to default the whole hell of a lot. They like to go for early map control and early skirmishes. So again, you're going to see a lot of fireworks at the beginning of these rounds.
And it doesn't stop here with the run it back. Paranoia goes through, and Sick is still able to find one, and Sinatra is there to back him up. Food finally to trade it back now has a run it back of his own. But Sentinels find themselves a man to the good, and Sick still trying to play aggressive here on the flank.
Yeah. Him having that much aggression on the B lobby is really going to free up Sentinels to start pivoting some of their other resources to help defend this A side. Cage is now on the door, so Dapper knows that he's under threat. He's just needing to delay a little bit longer, and his teammates will start making those rotations. They're already all basically here, and Shazam is going to catch Finesse.
Doesn't spot Food going up top, though. It is a 1-for-1, which leaves it down to the last for Envy. It is Crash. He's one of those players we said we have to keep an eye out for. Able to take down Sick. That's a big one to have off the board, but it is going to be a 1v2 over towards this A side. Now a 1v1, trying to take the fight to Dapper, but Dapper comes out on top.
Indeed. Great job there by Sentinels. It really just came off of that B lobby push where they were able to trade a little bit more effectively and then get that rotation over to A because of the control that they were able to gain off this run it back from Sick. It's a great response from Sentinels to keep that score close, not really allow Envy to build up too much momentum after winning a couple of rounds in a row there after losing the pistol. And so, again, it's going to be a slobber knocker all the way through, Tanner. People better get used to this pace because I don't think Envy are slowing down. Their comp kind of, and their style, you know, you have so much vision blocking between Caboose's leers, Food's flashes. You obviously have the paranoia from Mummy. So they like to just use that to try to, you know, block vision, limit angles, and just get in your face and try to flex that aim that some of these players have. And again, they're just droning up through Catwalk. They're wasting no time looking for early map controls. They're trying to make their way up into tree.
And 3 ultimates used there as a Hunter's Fury. Doesn't find too much there, and that's Caboose down after finding 1 kill. Mummy has since made it onto the site, but isn't necessarily safe. Is able to hang out underneath Heaven, but the rest of the team cannot get on just yet, and Shazam is making sure the door is shut in their face. Sick to trade one back with crashes on it as well. And here we go. We find ourselves even across the board, a 2v2 and all the chaos, but Mummy has the angle. He escapes away, but the spike yet to be planted, and who better than Sinatra? No, it's Finesse to close it out.
Oh my goodness, bro. I think I kind of summed it up earlier. If you blink, you're going to miss these rounds, dude, because these guys are wasting no time throwing out some jabs, a couple of hooks, you know. They're like Derek Lewis out here, man. They're looking to drop some uppercuts on your boy Curtis Blades and keep this thing going. If you're not a UFC fan and you don't get that reference, I'm sorry, that one wasn't for you. It's for other people out there. But, I mean, you're going to see a lot of that, bro. Like, it's just going to be action-packed all the way through. Envy, again, they are a very fast-paced team. They don't really like to default a whole hell of a lot. They like to just get out there, and Sentinels, you know, they're no strangers to that type of style themselves, but now they have a little bit less to work with, and by a little bit less, I mean a whole heck of a lot less.
And it was the operator actually picked up and put in the hands of Mummy here, so it's not Stingers. It's gonna be a Ghost, some pistols across the board, not a whole lot like you pointed out, but Sick making the best of this situation, finding that first kill. It's a bit too far to venture out and try and grab that weapon, but having that man advantage definitely helps, and Sick makes it out unscathed.
Great paranoia to bail Sick out of a really tough angle as he's playing inside that smoke. That was basically the insurance policy to make sure he would not get spammed as he tried to cross back. And so Sentinels actually do have man advantage now. Granted, they're still well behind in firepower, but I mean, they're taking a lot of control away from Envy. They were able to get aggressive at A main. They're really still holding the tree position well. I mean, they're actually doing pretty damn good work, despite the fact that they don't have a whole lot of firepower to back them. But now we see Envy able to break through. A big exchange in tree gives them access to A site.
And a weapon upgrade there for Dapper. There's also a couple of weapons in that area, so we'll see what Sentinels can pick up here. Food on low HP. Mummy finally going to hit one of those op shots. And Dapper, the last standing. Automatic pistol in hand in a 1v3. It's a pretty tall order. Finds the dink onto Caboose, but it's not going to be enough. And I thought we had ourselves a nice little back and forth, but Envy starting to pull away here, Dust.
Yeah, I mean, that was a weathered round, though, for being honest. Like, some of these rounds have come down to 2v2s, even when Sentinels didn't have full economy. So they haven't really been able to stretch their wings just yet, I guess is my point. Now they have the operator on Shazam. Now they have the full rifles across the board. So this is where we can see them go toe-to-toe a little bit better with Envy when it comes to what resources they have to implement. And they also have 4 ults in play. So, I mean, they definitely had their options open to them. Sick could definitely do a run it back, get aggressive, you know, make a play, and they could play off of that. Or, you know, they could save it for later for a retake. So they have a lot of options open to them right now.
And if I had to put my eggs in an operator basket, it's definitely in Shazam's over Mummy here, as he's 1 for 3 in a landed op shots. We'll see what the Omen can get done in this one as Zombs spots the head over the top of the box. He's going to toss out that smoke, try and delay it. There's a hot hands used as well, so that Molotov not going to be available across the map, and Envy go right back to their defaulted ways.
Indeed, they do. They actually are a little bit halted more often than not. They still have Caboose trying to threaten that B lobby area. They do have Finesse, what they can set up at A main.
Ooh.
And they are just kind of, you know, working it on.
Started talking about cameras, I got excited, but it was actually the camera taken down from Dapper, and there it is. Caboose just didn't seem like he wanted to react there. Mummy's able to trade it back, but a 1 for 1. Still favorable, I believe, on the Sentinel side. You have that ultimate coming on through from Sick. Not going to find too much. They're out towards mid, so they're storming onto the site, and only 25 seconds left on the clock as that neural theft gets used. They spot Sick on the flank, and now it's red all across the kill feed. Sinatra, the last man standing, has full HP, and he just has to delay. He has to find the spike carrier and stay alive. Instead, he will find Crashies. The spike now looking to get planted. It will go down. It's a 1v2, and once more, unscathed is Sinatra here as he looks to take the site. The op shot going to go wide. A shock dart in hand. A recon bolt just behind it. Now available as Food looks to get aggressive. Sinatra's going to eventually have to push, and Mummy is going to stop it. The operator 3K. That was a very big round for the op here for Envy.
Yeah, this is just a big round in general for Envy, right? I mean, you finally are going to see Sentinels fully equipped, and so that's kind of a statement round, right? To kind of just continue to hold Sentinels off and continue to kind of build your own winning streak here. And even with Shazam finding that early opening pick, Mummy was so quick to respond. They're able to catch these rotations and cut them off and just kind of just snowball the round at that point. And again, big round because this forces Sentinels back onto low economy, and now we've seen Envy win 6 of the last 7, even when some of the rounds are close. Close doesn't count anymore. Envy are building up a massive lead right now. Shazam has spotted the B lobby attack, and somehow while Leard hits the headshot on the food.
The ball doesn't lie. Shazam went up top and didn't get a kill through B main, but still ended up finding one through the Lear, as you pointed out. But Caboose on the flank will take the knives out of the equation, but we still find ourselves in an equal situation only for a moment. But Mummy is on the A site. Operator in hand, does not have a weapon upgrade here. Will now have a weapon to swap from. In the 1v1 we go, and Envy are not giving up control here, and it's up to Dapper. Atlas Cypher gets legged on the way in, but finds Mummy on his way out. It's 5 HP to the good, and Sentinel's back in the win column.
Man, even as what I consider to be a neutral person in this exchange, you know, I'm just here for good Valorant. I actually feel for Mummy there because I feel like he was actually doing some big things, and his crosshair was just a little too low, hits him in the thigh. He almost got himself the clutch again. And that would have been so money considering how well Sentinel started the round. For Caboose and Mummy to reel it back in, for Mummy to be posting up like this for something big and just hits him in the knees. Just puts it right through those patellas. And unfortunately, there's going to be some health to spare, and so it will go the way of Sentinels. They've found a few rounds here and there. They've all been on an island. They have yet to be able to really get something going. Will that change is now going to be the question.
As an operator down now as rifles across the board for Envy. A nice pickup there. Sentinels don't have to invest the 5,000 credits. They're able to just pick that one up and toss it on over to Shazam. But just as I said earlier, I'm putting all my eggs in the Shazam basket with the operator because Mummy was underperforming, it seemed, the first time he had it. He makes me eat my words, and he comes back huge. Now it's Shazam's moment. He's due, as you would usually say in the sports world, for a couple of kills with that operator. Not just going one and done. His food backs away. Small exchange over towards Catwalk, and Sick, not the target he was looking for, but he still finds one, and Food just has no way to respond. Can't retaliate there on that kill. Instead, it is going to be that Empress popped in a play over towards B once more. Hunter's Fury looking to close things out. Shazam playing the op angle up into market with the operator, but Crashy still finds a kill, and the Shrouded Step is in the worst possible spot for Mummy. Now Sentinel's looking to find another.
Dude, there's no worse feeling as an Omen when you go ahead and take the Shrouded Step and there's no cancel and you're just like, oh, great. Like, I've just put myself in the worst place ever. And you just have to sit there and wait for it to happen. And unfortunately for him, he was indeed caught. Shazam teeing off here. Now it's up to Food, really, to make a play. He might find the timing. I don't know that Shazam knows he got to that corner, but he's able to flick anyway. No problem for Shazam. And that's going to leave Crash. He's very, very lonely. And even though, you know, he's got a drone and such that he can kind of use to keep company, it's not going to amount to much in this situation. He's going to have to kind of just chill in the corner. And that's finally Sentinels building a couple of rounds in a row. Decent attack from Indy, obviously, using the Hunter's Fury to limit some angles, getting Caboose out there with the Lear and the Empress, but Shazam was able to bob and weave around a lot of this utility and just keep posting up with the operator and just keep swinging back. And that's an unfortunate teleport from me, dude. I don't know what he was thinking, honestly. That's kind of an easy one for Shazam. I don't know if they thought they had Shazam pushed off market to where he could do that or what, but that wasn't it. He's had a hell of a game, though, so we'll give him that one. It happens.
Yep, and that's it. He was due. Finds a nice little 3K and went hunting there at the end. Unfortunately, wasn't able to take that one rifle away. Now, again, playing out towards mid. Market area is going to get tagged up here. They know that operator is there. Drone taken down, and Shazam will look to reposition. Sick. Taking this aggressive posture up towards Catwalk, and it's worked.
He's done it a lot, yeah.
Yes, so many times it's worked out for him, so he does have to back away for a moment. Flash
Oh my goodness, though, dude. Envy are so deep. Shazam has no idea Fu could blindside him, but no, he's just going to play it a little bit longer. He's going to sneak in behind enemy lines. Envy, with that drone chase, have done so well to get deep into the territory of Sentinel. Shazam was able to get a kill, though, keep it even, and now he's got a read of the situation, and he's striking back.
He is not done with that op just yet. They give up the mid control. He finds Caboose, the second member to lurk. Now it's all up to Mummy in a 1v2 with 21 health against a rifle and an operator. And it looks like Shazam may have even swapped out there just to take this fight. Mummy, you had a super sick play. You almost pulled it off in the last one. This one feels a whole lot less doable. No ultimate available. Does have the spike in hand, but running out of time. Be able to get that plant down at the very least, but at that point, I think you just get pinched from all angles. You see Shazam pushing on through. Ooh, he actually hears the footsteps. They stop the plant, and Sinatra from up top will get him in the back. Sentinels, I mean, already adjusting from the last time they played Envy on Ascent here.
I have to credit them so much because that got so scary when the drone pushed Shazam off the angle and it allowed them to get up into market control so fast, and they're even getting into back halls, and I thought that they were going to be able to just bust Sentinel's defense wide open, but then Shazam was able to catch on to it, gets a couple of big operator shots, and that really is what sealed the deal for Sentinels to get their third round in a row. And it wouldn't be a game of Ascent without some Sinatra Odin action, would it, Tanner?
No, and they know exactly how Envy want to play it. The playthrough B had been working, and it was a fast one to get it done. This time, not going to be the same result. Dapper finds that kill. Taking a second one, finally traded out, and the operator now goes down as Finesse with the stinger. That gun just too strong. On the last round of the half, we find ourselves in a 3v3, making a 2v3 as the Odin still popping off, but Sinatra forced to reload. I would imagine he looks to swap weapons, but with ultimates available, we see Mummy again trying to make his leave. No, he just went back towards the spawn. I don't know what the play was, but either way, Dust, we are 6-6 at the half, and Envy are going to be mounting their defense after this short break. We're coming right back 6-6 at the half, but if you missed it, Dust, the ending of that last round, it was a little questionable.
Mummy, listen, buddy. That ult wasn't it. That wasn't it, bud. But he's got 16 kills, so like what well, you know, he's having a hell of a game. You know, so he you know what? I'm gonna give him a couple of passes. Because when he did have some big moments, bro. And he almost had a massive clutch if he would have aimed his crosshair like an inch higher. So I mean, like I said, we'll let it rest. But you know.
Yeah,
that one made me scratch. That was a head scratcher. It's okay though. We're all even.
I thought huge brain play again. The Omen over towards the A site. We just saw Mummy do it a few rounds ago, and I was sadly mistaken when I saw him get shot down by the two that were playing out towards the defender spawn. Now we have Envy on the defending side, and it's a very slow push up towards B main here for Sentinels, and I don't think they spot a whole lot out, and it's actually going to force them right back to the defaulted ways.
Yeah, they just wanted to fight for that orb control early inside B lobby. Sentinels love to fight for orbs on both sides of the map, simultaneously at times even, but this time they just went ahead for the full focus on B. They're going to go ahead and get into the site. We're going to see Envy having to play for a bit more of a retake at this point. Sick trying to play inside the smoke here on the stairs. We're seeing the defense rotate. They're going to be coming from all angles. They have a player from Market, a player from B lobby, and the rest coming through back halls, and everyone from Sentinels is inside the site. Like, this is going to be so chaotic, man.
And not the most advantageous post-plant position here for Sentinels, as they are all corralled, but they're going to have their corners. You see real close here. Caboose will be one. It's actually going to be Sick taken down, and Envy just start to find the kills. It's all up to Shazam. Full HP and just has to buy a bit of time, but can't do that at the least. It was damaging, Dust. Down to the last two, but Envy pick up a pistol.
Yeah, that was interesting. When you're just all on the site like that, it's in a different corner each. You're just all, you know, they were trying to, you know, have the hot hands from Sick kind of block off that stairs angle and maybe, you know, at least force damage. But when you have like Envy attacking from all fronts at the same time, you got Leers popping off inside the site. You know, it's so hard to defend against that onslaught at that point. It just comes down to like who wins their aim fights. There's not a whole lot of calculation or, you know, tactics going on those moments. It's just about brawling, and obviously we saw that Envy were able to be a bit better there and get that defuse on the retake. And so They are going to take the slight lead as we head to another one of those full-on SMG rounds. We do see some pressure being applied here at A lobby from Sentinels. Again, they are going to be pretty similar to Envy on wanting to attack fast, but sometimes they can slow down the tempo a bit and kind of just allow players like Sick and Sinatra to have some freedom to try to make plays or do something individual, but they're still very scrappy. You know, the pacing is going to stay up, put it that way. The tempo not coming down.
Quick onto the A site here. Spike closely behind. Should be planted down here in the next few moments. And that's up top in heaven. Here's this one, has the upgraded SMG in the Spectre. Just about everybody else sitting on these Stingers, which kind of makes this round a coin flip. Going back and forth, full armors and Stingers for both teams. Some information given out. Shazam going to be spotted out over towards Switch. Doesn't have the angle just yet. Now Mummy's able to find it, but they double swing and they trade the kill, but they're traded right back. But on the flank, Dapper still alive, still very healthy. Now cuts it down to a 2v2 situation, and it's all up to Sinatra. The hot hand's going to push him away. Food looking to stick the defuse, and Sinatra just goes right through. The shock darts not in time. And who better than Finesse to find a 3K in another NB round?
Yeah, really well done. They've won the force buy, so now Sentinels have to take a bit of a step back, and this is where Envy can mash the gas pedal. They should be able to jump up to a 9th round here. There shouldn't be a whole lot Sentinels can do about it, as they will be indeed on just upgraded pistols at best. SMGs will continue to float here for Envy, of course. And so, shouldn't see too much here. Sinatra did get a stinger, and now Zoms picks up a stinger. Okay, now they're deciding to go ahead and go in. All right, then. And fair enough. They're going to hit max loss bonus next round. They would still be able to get a pretty good buy. So, I don't blame them for this one at all.
And those Stingers, they add that X factor to your arsenal. Unfortunately, not going to find too much here. Only one kill. It was Shazam with the Sheriff in hand. The force buy, although you're getting that max loss bonus, it delays the operator should Shazam want it later in this attacking half. So that is definitely a feels bad, man. Just as that is a little bit of help from his trusty shock darts as Sinatra finds a kill onto Caboose.
Yeah, Caboose was trying to get that Phantom out of there. He really did not want that going over to enemy hands, but unfortunately it cost him his life. And that actually evened up the odds because there was a big advantage there for Envy. They did a great job aggressing A lobby and winning the exchange and denying that access to Sentinels on that side of the map. But now you've opened the door back with a play like that, giving Sinatra a kill and a Phantom. Finesse, though, he was maybe the one that could put a stop to it, but he's been found out, and now Sentinels are going to collapse onto this B site. There's only one defender here that's going to be Crashies, and while he's a damn good player, this is an overwhelming wave of players coming his direction. He's going to have to pop off here, but he limits a nice 1v1.
Last player standing.
There's just not much, and help is so far away. Mummy rotating all the way from A through mid. We'll have a stinger. Obviously, Sinatra getting that weapon upgrade and a recon bolt. Not going to grab that information, so maybe thinking nobody is coming from this B main area. Sinatra still postured up, though, to watch that sidewalk. We've got Zoms hanging out. Make sure nobody comes downstairs for free. This is a very tough place to be, but full utility here. He goes through, able to find one, tries to swap to the sidearm, but Zoms comes out on top, takes the imposter down and inches closer to a tie game.
Yeah, that's a big one to win if you're Sentinels. And if you're Envy, you're probably kicking yourself a little bit because, again, they had such a good opening exchange on this aggression, and then Caboose just did not get away. Finesse gets caught behind enemy lines. And then all of a sudden, Sentinels on the force buy, or maybe not a full force, but, you know, they put something into that, and they actually come up with it and keep the score close. And, man, I really felt like that was looking like it was going to go the other direction for the bulk of the round.
And now Sentinels understand where Envy are at when it comes to their arsenal, so they're looking to take the fight right to them, which could pay off in dividends. Unfortunately, Bucky not going to get too much at close range at Sinatra with that upgraded Phantom from the last round, and the Stinger's not going to find the kill just yet. Finally, it's a right click from Caboose to sit Sinatra down, but only after he's found 2 kills, and the rest of Envy look to fall down around him. The spike not even picked up yet here. Sentinel's just looking for the kills to close it out.
Yeah, not too much to say about that one, if we're being 100% honest with you. I mean, I don't think I really need to add too many tidbits to that. Sentinels just clearly sinking their teeth into it. They are going to tie this game up at 8 apiece. And they're probably looking to take the nod. I mean, Envy, I feel like economically are in some trouble. That's a clean round from Sentinels. They don't really lose too much at all. Just one player goes down, so they're able to roll weapons forward, no problem. And while Envy can buy here, yes, look at the repercussions. They have no funds left, and if they take the loss, Sentinels will basically jump up to 10 for free. They have the ult economy in their favor as well, with 4 players already on ult and Zombs 1 away. Now, granted, Envy aren't too far behind. They have 3 ults, a couple players very close as well. But you are starting to see that shift in momentum, it feels. Like, Envy looked so hot at different points in time in that first half, and now Sentinels seem to be really responding.
Joke's over. You're dead.
And now we got the Hunter's Fury coming out, trying to find something to run it back to get some info onto Finesse, who backs away and sends the Phoenix back from whence he came. Food gonna trade it back with his own to run it back. A flash out. He spots one in the corner and just can't find the kills. And now in a pretty bad spot as he once more and back towards the ultimate, losing that armor. Sentinels down a player. Not the end of the world. Is Crashy actually gonna make it 2 players? Shazam's only able to get 1 back. The A site has been taken, but as the rest of the team starts to get on, caboose. The bouncer at the door. Shazam isn't done just yet, as he's down to the last. It's 35 health on the Jet. He's able to find 1, not the ace. It's Mummy to close it out, and that round's making me sweat there.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those rounds where you just don't know where you're headed. You're just kind of along for the ride, and you're just trying to keep up as best you can. But again, that's what happens when you have 2 teams like this who are very explosive in how they like to play the game. They like to thrive in the chaos. They like to go out there and take those scrappy battles. And really, you're just kind of waiting to see, all right, who's going to win their duels? And in that particular situation, Envy came up big, and they needed to, because, again, their economy was so low, and now both economies are fragile. Both teams could be looking for a save if they lose this round. So this is such an important round for Sentinels to take lead back, or for Envy to start steaming back ahead towards the finish line, as they've done really throughout the majority of this game, as we see Crashies popping the Hunter's Fury early here defensively, trying to get a tag off or something through that A main route, as they were pushed off the doorway by this angle from Sinatra. As the spike is certainly pivoting that direction, they are going to go ahead and grab Orb on the stick. They're trying to build up his run it back as soon as possible to have it again for future rounds. And they're being halted here. That cage is going to once again slow down progress. But both defenders are playing off-site, so there is still a way for Sentinels to break in and force Envy to play the retake, but Shazam going to miss that entry. Gets away with his life, but it's getting tough.
And I'm not sure if they spotted out Finesse here, so even if they pick up that kill tree, trying to cross onto the site, things could be a bit dicey. Now Crash's Ascent moved on over, and the switch is going to be hit, and they're able to trade a kill back and forth. Finesse able to sneak out and find that one onto Dapper just narrowly. Now Crashes is forced to back away, and as you mentioned, the economy not in a great spot, so at the very least, you don't want everybody dying here, even if you are that winning squad. And Envy looking to make sure it's not them. Sentinels down to their last. Zombs Nation with the door broken down, needs to stop the defuse, but the spike is in such an awkward spot. There might just be no real way in. He's able to find 2, almost 3 on the way out, but Envy will net themselves around, and the inverse of what we thought we might see. It's Envy reaching double digits first.
Indeed, they are. And there is still money available here for Sentinels, but you're basically putting yourself on a tough track if you invest all the way into this one and it doesn't work out. So you can see that, yeah, I mean, they're going to go ahead and keep piling on here. I mean, they are approaching max loss bonus in the next round anyway. So it would be a tough buy next round, though, if this doesn't work. And they're having to go at Stingers in this round on top of it, so they can't even really put their best foot forward. Now, don't get me wrong. The way that they play, the way they like to close distance, they could get those Stingers in the faces of their opponent and still be, you know, very effective. But, again, if this does not work, they're force buying the rest of the game, really. And that would put them on such a bad route, I feel like.
And the one notable thing in the composition shift that we have, right, it's a Reyna and a Jet. And I was kind of thinking, you have to win gunfights if you're Envy, which feels, you know, again, not necessarily coin flippy, but it's hard to do. You need to have a rifle or I guess a Stinger in order to use a Reyna ult or a Phoenix ult, whereas Shazam does have these knives in these rounds. that could kind of turn the tide. So when the economy is bad, Sentinels do have that going for them. It is interesting that they choose to pop it here, though. I think it was 3 Stingers and 2 Phantoms. So some of the team was actually able to purchase up and cash in the last 3 knives remaining. We'll find the reset there onto Finesse, but it's going to be traded back almost immediately with the 3 ultimates still remaining. A run it back available for 6. They've been feeding this guy alt orbs, and now he's finally going to start to use it. They look to storm onto the site, but it's a paranoia.
30 seconds.
Natra going to bide his time, not go for the first. Finally, that ult is going to be sent right back, but Envy pick up a couple of kills. And the Neural Theft going to give out some information. Not the spray down, though. He queued up a curveball instead, so Sick couldn't find anything there. And Food will actually find him waiting inside the smoke. Now with the spike planted, again, the economy, things looking incredibly dire. Dapper needs to come up huge here.
Yeah, it's going to be tough as well. He's stuck in the back of the site. He did kind of bob and weave around the drone, however, so he's able to kind of blindside Food, who was not ready for that. And now he's still taking some chip shots here and there. He's still hanging on, but now the defense is going to split 2 routes at once. Dapper trying to dance around and find 1v1s as best he can, but they do get inside the site behind the boxes, not allowing him a chance to break the aim loose. Envy will collect, and they will put up an 11th round. And now Sentinels, yes, they did get the spike plant. Yes, they are on max loss bonus, but they're going to have to make some wise choices on how they spend here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously abilities carry over, so whatever they didn't use in that round is still going to be there, and they could still probably put out a rifle and an armor, but again, like, you have to be a little bit picky and choosy now. Like, you don't have just free reign anymore, and on top of that, you have a hot Envy team who are really putting the rounds together. And so it looks like they will be able to get the full buy, but it's going to mean that Shazam has to go without an operator. That's a big tool off the board.
Take flight.
Into light armors to come through. It's down.
Yeah.
It's bare minimum for credits as well. So that next round, surely, if Sentinels lose this one on match point, they're probably going to find themselves on Stingers. Yeah, it's going to be in a tough spot. Now we see a bit of mid posture, though. This is one of the first times we're seeing Sentinels put a little bit of pressure towards mid here, that market area. And there's nothing to really stop them. Both trap wires over towards B, the cam also that way. So
yeah,
unless they spot them out here, this could just be a free push and a nice flank.
Yeah, Sentinels are doing great here to get this deep mid control. They've already blown the door open on market as well. No, Envy, that was kind of calculated, right? That's why they shut the door. They knew that mid was being taken. They knew that market was going to be under siege. So they will now spin the drone. Trashies will only spot 1. Meanwhile, the spike is still sitting outside A lobby here on 6. So it looks like they want to maybe kind of fake some mid control, threaten the B split, maybe pull a rotation, and then they really want to actually get up onto Catwalk into Tree and split this A site. Now, with all that said, even with all the mid pressure they've put on, Envy's not biting. They still have 3 players on the A site, 2 towards A heaven, 1 on the floor itself. And Sentinels are going to be looking to split their way in here. They're taking Tree. Caboose has the angle and spots them.
No kill, but has the information that they're looking to storm on. That's Food using that run it back and able to find a kill. So goes good for 1, and Caboose still in an awkward angle inside the smoke. They're trying to spray him down. Dapper able to find a kill, but Caboose going to trade it right back, and forth we go on this A site. It's the massacre on A site. And now it's down to not Dapper this time, but the opposing Cypher in a 1v2. Has to find a way in and defuse this spike. Has the Neural Theft available, but Envy also have some rounds to play with, so it's not the end of the world if this doesn't go their way. Nice hot hand's gonna force him on out, and he doesn't have the time to keep on scooting through. And Zombs will be able to walk away this one, last one alive for Sentinels.
That's a big round from Sentinels. And again, I kind of fear for them because even though they were getting that mid control, I feel like their goal with that was to try to force Envy to respect defending spawn, to respect the B split, and kind of lighten the load on what A defense was going to be available to put a stop to their split that they went for there. And in fact, Envy kind of held their ground. You know, Caboose was able to spot the cross through door pretty early. They had people in place, but Sentinels were actually able to win some really big battles towards that A heaven space. And if you're not able to maintain that it's so hard to set up a retake at that point, and the numbers just get dwindled. And now Sentinels all of a sudden are putting that pressure right back on Envy. We're seeing Sinatra dancing around a smoke here. He's able to get one and clear out the winery, and so Sentinels actually have an advantage. They're starting to get on Envy's heels. Oh no, he didn't check.
And it looked like Zombs was queuing up a smoke at the time, so that would have been a free kill Good, he had peeked over to his left. Unfortunately, Food doesn't do that, and Envy find themselves on the back foot once more. Crashy's very low. Hunter Shuri in his back pocket. I would imagine he opts into hanging onto that and now just getting corralled from the front, from the back, on the site. Nowhere to go. Sinatra with the backstab. Sentinels, they start to close the gap here, Dust. Things are getting spicy.
They are. There was a big reset to Envy's economy there, and so they couldn't really put anything into that one. Trying to play up close and make something happen, but everything got caught. Every little gimmick that Envy were trying to throw out there was going to be checked by Sentinels, and so that is going to be the scoreboard drawing ever closer. No operators on the field in this round. Envy's economy also, you know, getting vulnerable, but they do have max loss bonus, so they take an L here. We just got to focus on each and every round at this point. So tight right now on the scoreboard, so much at stake with a master spot available at the end of the finish line for the series. And inside of the smoke at middle, where things can always get risky, is going to be the kill going the way of Envy.
The response going to be a run it back up to Catwalk. Does get tagged out, and Sick just trying to find whatever he can. He's actually able to find a kill with the blink in his face there, and a Hunter's Fury gets so much from Crashies. The health bar for Sentinels. Everybody hurting on this squad, and that is the result of the Hunter's Fury tag.
Yeah, he tagged 3 different players with that between all the shots, so that was a lot of value. Even if he didn't get a kill, he definitely chipped away at Sentinel's bank here, and now we're seeing some, again, just these weird exchanges around smokes where both teams are willing to take some risk. And so far, it looks like Envy are coming out on top as you're going to see Finesse swinging up through Cat. He finds Stick, and he does not overextend. He gets out. He's happy with what he has gained as he has put Sinatra in such a tough spot here. All by his lonesome. He does have Spike. That's about the only thing going for him, though.
He's about to run right into Mummy here, who has been pretty much the top frag for the entire game here. Able to find another, add another to that kill count, and that right there, Dust, that is why it's not all about kills, guys. Even in your solo queue games, you take a peek at those assists. Crashies on 14 of them, and 3 or 4 came from that round, which is one of the biggest to push Envy to map point.
Yeah, I mean, getting that many tags just gives you so much information, and it also, again, chunks away and softens up targets for later on down the line with no ability to really heal on any of the Sentinels members, except for Sick being able to heal himself with Hot Hand. So that is such a big round for Envy, and now they are 1 away from taking a sit and going a map up in the series. We are going to see Sentinels trying to get some quick mid-control. Drone is going to spot this, of course. So Envy has some ideas. They're also looking to contest as well. They're getting aggressive on the catwalk, and they're actually going to find the Pickle and Shazam, who got stuck in awkward space, tried to dash out, but could not escape.
Crashy's able to convert on not just the tag this time around, but a kill coming his way. The spike yet to be picked up, but it is going to be Sinatra rotating all the way back. And I mean, you see it's basically a 4-point stance across the board for Sentinels trying to find a way in. This is the do or die round here on Ascent. And the information already spotted out towards that B main area. Sinatra trying to grab some info over towards Tree. I don't feel like there's really any way in.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough on them. They're a man down. There's plenty of defense in place covering all fronts. The rotation's even starting to drift a little bit here from Crashes. He's more tucked towards back hall, so even he wouldn't take long to get here. They've been spotted by the Omen on site. That's going to be Mummy. Hunter's Fury is going to use that info to try to get a pick, and it indeed will, but Food also found his man, and Caboose still has this close angle with Empress on tree position, and he finds his man as well. This is looking dire for Sentinels.
We're able to close out the tag that Sinatra found on Food, but as you said, the Empress is on a 3v2. Sentinels in a dire situation. That shock dart just going to miss on out because of where that spike was being planted. Crash is trying to do everything they can, and the cherry on top for Envy here. The Neural Theft spotting them both corralled. The Recon Bolt going to give some info, but the Neural Theft comes out on top. They close it out, and Envy once more in this series against Sentinels will find a win on Ascent.
Envy Indeed, they do. Again, we've been seeing it throughout their run in these qualifiers and in the main event here at Challengers 2. They have been dismantling everyone in front of them lately. They are not allowing their opponents many rounds even coming into